Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Rookie Outdoor Wonders. As you can see, I'm just got into my Florida dorm, so I'm still in the process of moving in. So it's a little bit of a mess, but I wanted to make this video for you guys so you can see the rig I used when I caught that big old steelhead in the last video, so you guys can go do it yourself. Um, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to tie up that exact rig that I used. The spinner I used was a Blue Fox spinner. I couldn't tell you what size. I know it was a blue color with like a yellow flasher. Um, but as far as size and color, it's all, I mean, they can all vary. Just have a few different colors so that way you can try and test out different ones out on the river you're fishing. I love spinning reels because they're super easy. I mean, if you're trying to get into steelhead fishing, it's one of the easiest ways to get started because, I mean, bobber fishing, drift fishing, plunking all have a lot of multiple components, so it's pretty tough to get started. Um, so I'm going to show you guys on my Florida rig how I exactly tie up my Oregon rig. So if I'm just going for steelhead, I'm going to be using 12-pound mainline braid and then 10-pound leader with fluorocarbon. Anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds if you're just fishing for steelhead should be, in the ballpark you're looking for. 8-pound being really light but less visible, 12-pound being a little bit more heavy but more endurable. If I'm out fishing in a river where I know there might be salmon, I'll probably fish with like 15 or 20-pound test if I'm trying to target those salmon. If I'm trying to target steelhead primarily, I want to stick with like 12-pound test. So on my main line, like I said, I use braid, and I pray that you use braid too, just because braid is so much easier to use than monofilament. You can cast it a lot further. It's a lot more durable. I like it a lot more personally. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that might like monofilament, but highly recommend you use braid. For my main line, I'm using fluorocarbon. So fluorocarbon leader is a little bit more expensive than monofilament, but it's a lot better. It's worth every buck. And so how I tie these two main lines together, because I don't just fish with braid. Braid when it's scraped, it can break off really easily. You want something tough like monofilament or floral. And so what I do is I have my braid line right here. I have my fluorocarbon right here. So straighten out this guy, and I make a half loop around my leader line. So half loop, nothing too fancy. You can see that there's a loop around my finger. Right here is the fluorocarbon. Right there is the main line. And then once I have that established, what I do is I spin the fluorocarbon around the braid 7 times, just like I would. I'm giving myself a little bit extra room here so I can show you guys how I do it. So 1, see that I have my loop still. Just 2. I'm just putting putting the leader line around the main line. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can see it's looped around there, and then right there, that loop that you see, that's a loop of braid, not the fluorocarbon. So it should be braid, but you want to put your fluorocarbon tag in right there through my finger through that little hole in that loop. So once you put it through that loop, you're going to want to tighten it up slowly. You don't want to just fully tighten it up. Just tighten it up so that way the line looks like that. And then I like to wet it. It helps with the knot. And then from there, just slowly tighten. I like to still have my tail ends hanging onto my tail ends as I do this. So once I slowly tighten, then I just see that tightens up like that. You can see the tail ends come out. So I've successfully mended my lines together. Make sure to pull tight. Make sure that you can't break it. It's a good knot right there. And there's a lot of different knots for tying your lines together. This one's just a really easy one to learn first. So these two are the tag ends. I want to cut those down a little bit. You don't want to cut them too short because they will pull a little bit, but you don't want them to be like hanging out like that. So I'll just do that. So Here's my main line. Here's my leader line. From there, I'm going to give myself quite a bit of room. I'll probably go with, that's probably about like 4 feet a leader maybe. See that about right there? That's probably about like 4 feet. I like to have a little bit more leader when I'm fishing, especially for steelhead, because one, I want it to be that clear line, and then two, if they get me on a rock, a lot of times you're fishing in shallow water. I want to make sure that line is not going to scrape with the braid. I do not want to break off that line. So then I have my spinner here. This is just a spinner I found. I think it's a bass spinner in my tackle box. Never used it before. Some people will have those like snap-on swivels. I don't like to do that because I like there to be as less brass as possible. I like to just tie it straight on. Some people might prefer it differently because you can put on different lures quicker, but personally this is what I do. I just do my normal fishing knot through there. So through there and tie it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just your, oh man, your standard fishing knot. You just put it through the loop, and then you tie around 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Match. Kind of all stuck my finger. 7. You can see that you have it right there, and then you just go through that loop right there. That's like your standard fishing knot for everything. Hold it with my tooth and just tighten it up. See right there. Sometimes you'll get, I literally did that not perfectly. A lot of times you'll have a tail loop right there. Just cut it short and make sure it's nice and tight. You do not want to test it on the fish. Test it on yourself first and make sure that it's a good line. And you can see that it's all tied together now. So I have my spinner right here. I have my main line, or my leader line, and then attached to my main line. So I'm good to rock and roll right now. And that's all you have to do to get started. Like I said, I was using a Blue Fox spinner. Talk to your local guide tackle shops. Look on forums, and you can see kind of what people like as preferences, colors, sizes go, and you'll get a better understanding of that. But hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial video. Hope it really helped. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment below. And yeah, make sure to subscribe for future videos. I'm right now in Florida. I'll be back in Oregon in December. Maybe in November. Might be visiting some family. But stay tuned. I got a lot of new content I'm going to be releasing. When I get back to Oregon, I'm going to be going steelhead fishing quite a bit. So lots of new stuff to come. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video.